All right. How's it going to my YouTube fam? I'm not doing any kind of work today. I just want to give an appreciation to all the courier drivers, the medical courier drivers, the food delivery drivers, etc. I feel like a lot of the courier drivers, cargo van drivers, SUV drivers, etc. don't get enough appreciation. A lot of people think it's easy to do this kind of work. It's really not. And to be honest with you, the easiest part about it maybe, I'm going to say, I guess, well, maybe driving. Because a lot of this is really mental work. You know, you have to really focus. You have to really concentrate on the road. You got to practice on timing, on getting people things on time, especially when you're doing food orders and you multi-apping and everything. So a lot of it is just thinking and strategy. You have to really focus and put a lot of strategy, especially when there's a lot of traffic. And then you have to try to swing through the traffic and everything. So that's a whole nother topic to even talk about. Then another part to think about is keeping up the maintenance on the vehicle, keeping gas in the vehicle, especially if you're in an SUV and a cargo van. It takes a lot of gas. Pickup trucks, it takes a lot of gas. Keeping up with the maintenance, the oil changes and everything. So a lot of this is, you know, you just constantly moving, you constantly thinking, you constantly on the run, especially for the people who do the long distance driving. See, I do a lot of local routes. You know, I don't really do the long distance thing like that, driving all out of town and stuff like that. But eventually I think I might start doing that because that's really where the money is at. And man, I love to follow other YouTubers, other cargo van businesses and stuff like that do the same kind of work that I do. Every time I watch other people's videos, I started off doing this in 2022, and the very first person that I started following was Sean in Town. Before I started following him, I was working at a hospital as a pharmacy technician. I got tired of doing that kind of work, you know, a 9-to-5, being in a 9-to-5 rat race, just to be harassed on the job, just to be around miserable people, people that's not working but always watching you and want to be the manager's pet and tell everything, but they're not doing anything. So you get tired of being around those kind of people. And the most important part, you can't really spend time with your family when you're in a 9-to-5 rat race. So I remember one day just being at work when I was a pharmacy tech in the hospital. I took a bathroom break and I was just reflecting on everything, all the 9-to-5s I worked. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of this kind of work. I want to work for myself. And the funny thing is, I've been saying that for years. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. But one thing I always know that I love to do was drive. I take my grandmother places, drove my mother places. So it was always just fun, even when I was younger, to just hop in the car and just drive, even if it was to go nowhere. So while I was on my bathroom break at work, I was just reflecting. So, you know, I just had that mind frame, you know, and I'll tell you, when you work at 9-to-5, you have that mind frame and fear. You know, you've been working 9-to-5 so long, you know, that fear is instilled in you, like, oh, I can't lose my job. What if I lose my job and I got to do this and I got this to pay, I got that to pay. So you naturally have that mind frame. But as I was in the bathroom, I was thinking, like, you know what? This job is not making you happy. You're around too many miserable people. Why not just leave? You know, they have things like DoorDash and stuff like that. You can make the money and take care of everything you need to take care of with that. So I say a month after that, no, 3 weeks after that moment, I put in my 2-week notice, told them that this is not working for me, and I stepped out on faith. So signed up for DoorDash. Well, actually, I signed up for DoorDash actually like months before that. I just never actually used it at first. So I said, you know what? I'm about to get on DoorDash and just start making money. I didn't have any kind of strategy at first. I was accepting every order. This is how I knew I was new to this. I knew I was very new to this because I was accepting every order, didn't have a strategy. Just pretty much, I'm talking about $2 orders to go 10, 15 miles. And I think DoorDash, they know that. They know when a lot of new people come on here, you know, doing DoorDash, they know they can get over on people like that because they really don't know any better. They just, oh man, I'm gonna accept this order, that order, you know, just accepting everything. But over time, you know, I've learned, like, okay, the distance, you know, the pay, the mileage and all of that, I learned how to calculate that up. I knew what I would accept and what I wouldn't accept. But anyway, as I was in the bathroom, I was thinking, you know, to go back to that part, sorry about that. I just said, forget it. So I quit. So one of the first people I started following on YouTube with this kind of work was Town. You know, I've been following him ever since, watching all his videos. And I tell you, watching his videos definitely has given me motivation on, doing these routes, just different things, the strategy, just a whole lot of different things that he talks about the different apps. So that was one of the other things that as I was watching this video, I started following him and downloading the different apps, the different companies I could email and things, as far as with the SUV, because that's all I had at the moment was an SUV. And I had a small Honda, but it was old, kind of raggedy. The AC worked, but the heat didn't work when it was wintertime and all of that. So, I used what I could at the moment. But Town was actually the first person I followed on, doing this. This is why I love to get on YouTube and follow people in their journey, when they're doing their deliveries. I love when people, pretty much just show what they do, how they load up their SUV, the car, the cargo van, and take the trip. Because I feel like I'm going on the trip with the person as I'm watching it. So that's why I'm making my videos, as I do my deliveries. I want to take y'all on the journey with me. And that's the main thing of pretty much how I'm looking, because I want to show you my strategy, how I load up the back of the cargo van, etc., etc. So all my fellow cargo van operators, we in this together. We making this money, we taking these trips, we all on the journey. And the journey is to deliver all these packages, food, whatever you delivering, and we make this money. So let's continue to stay on this journey together. And like this video, subscribe, comment up under the video, give me your views, your thoughts, and opinions.